what inspires me to show up here every week, what I plan on doing, and what you guys can expect. Hello, hi, my name is MJFANGIRL. Actually, my real name is Aisha. I've been making content all about Michael Jackson for the last 7 years online, and I wanted to do this episode because it's rare that I reintroduce myself to people. It's rare that I talk about my fan story, and so today I wanted to take the opportunity just to talk to you guys about me, myself, and how I got here, how I started creating content all about Michael Jackson on the internet, and what you can expect from this channel, what can you expect from my episodes, what you can expect from me in 2025. I'm so excited that you're here. Today's video is sponsored by Luisa. They're the ones that make this amazing jewelry that I always wear. I got this new silver necklace and a mood ring, you guys. A mood ring. Yes, I'm serious. Let's get into the video, and then I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about Ana Luisa later. I am originally from New York City, grew up with a family that actually loved music and played it all the time. Specifically, my dad is the one who introduced me to a lot of Michael Jackson's music. He is super into music and entertainment and all that, specifically like soul music, R&B. Actually, he loves all of it. But I will say that like he is very partial to like Stevie Wonder, Teddy Pendergrass, a lot of the Motown acts, and particularly the Jackson's music. That's what I grew up on. I have VHS home videos of me dancing as a little kid to Michael Jackson, and if I can find a clip, I will insert it here because it is super cute. I'm thinking about doing actually like a little reaction video to myself as like a 4-year-old on Patreon, but that's for another time. I became a fan as a young child. Went into middle school, really loving Michael and the Jackson 5. Kind of discovered Michael as a solo artist when I was watching the Jackson's American Dream miniseries that used to come on TV all the time. Watch that on VH1. I remember clearly it was like a summer day, not much going on, a couple more days until the school year was to begin, and I came across this song, and I think I had to have been in like 6th or 7th grade, and I was like, asked my dad, what is that song where Michael Jackson keeps saying why? It was Human Nature. And we started to make like mixtapes back then. A lot of the music that my dad owned was on vinyl. So like at that time, that was a CD era, very much a CD era, still in the early 2000s when I started like craving listening to Michael's music on my own. And so we would go on LimeWire, Napster, and make like all these mixtape Michael Jackson CDs, these playlists of like the best Michael Jackson songs. And so that's kind of like how I started. And I was always a kid that was like pretty much to myself. Like will be honest, like I loved all the music back then that was like In Sync and Backstreet Boys and all of that, but my biggest passion was soul music and Michael Jackson, and I was not really able to find other people that were into that at school. Like naturally, this is the early 2000s, people are into like In Sync, O-Town, Britney Spears, all of that. I will say that where I found community is online. So I started going in the Michael Jackson AOL chat room at like 12 years old. I know this is crazy, but you guys, this is before things got too wild with like the online stuff. I went on the AOL chat room, which, spoiler alert, that is where I first met my husband when we were kids, on the Michael Jackson AOL chat room. That's a story for another time, but he is also a Michael Jackson fan, and that's where we first met. I will say that one of my favorite places to meet fans back then was on a forum called MJJ Forum. It used to be called MJJ Forum. Now it's MJJ Community, and it's still a live and active forum, even though it's not popping like it was back then. But I was on there in like 2002, 2003, right at the start of like the trial. One of my first events was going to a meetup with New York, New Jersey fans at the New York City Public Library. We met up there and we made a banner for the trial, which is like wild. We made a banner representing New York, New Jersey fans. We decorated it with like pictures, and like we had our names on there. And I don't know if I have the picture still. I think it's somewhere in like my old hard drive. But yeah, we bonded, and I think the banner making meetup was in 2005. No, was it in 2005? I think so. And the banner was sent to LA and held up by Southern California fans based there at his trial. And then I also started just like hanging out with other fans in real life. I think, actually, now I will go back and I'll say my first real event was at like a candlelight vigil that was held for Michael in 2003. For me, I was so sad when that whole thing happened, and I was just like, oh, what do I do? Like, I feel so alone. Like, I don't have anyone to talk to about this. It's my age. I can understand. And I really like went to the fans, and that's when I realized like, oh, a lot of these people have similar values. They're interested in the same stuff. They're excited about the same stuff. A lot of them are old souls. A lot of them are into retro stuff and just like Michael. And so that was one of my biggest passions and my hobbies. And fast forward to, after I started doing those online in-person meetups in the mid 2000s, after Michael was acquitted of all charges and he moved out of the US, I kind of like took a step back from Michael. Not that I wasn't a fan, but like I took a step back, got more heavy into him in the 2009 time when there was like this talk of him going on tour. I remember very, very clearly being in my dorm room in college. I went to Penn State, and I clearly remember like being in my dorm and like seeing on CNN that Michael had a big announcement. And I don't think it was clear as to what it was at that time that he announced a tour. And I was like, oh, I have to go to this. Like, how do I get there? Okay, I've been a Michael Jackson fan for over 30 years. And for like 20 of those years, I just felt so all alone. It was so isolating and difficult to be a fan and like wanting to talk to people about Michael Jackson, wanting to like geek out about certain things, wanting to learn and ask people things without feeling like the pressure of the outside world of people that just didn't understand. I'm super excited because I created my Patreon, Club 30s with MJ Fangirl, to create that safe space for Michael Jackson fans just like me. There is a group chat where we can talk to Michael Jackson fans. We can like literally, it's like a group chat with text. I sent a picture out the other day and I'm like, what do you guys think of this pic of Michael? Have you guys ever seen this? This is super rare. Have you guys heard this rumor about the biopic? Like, we just talk about everything, you guys, and it's a beautiful place to just be yourself and talk about Michael. I also post 3 pieces of content over there a week. So these are going to be exclusive videos, mostly reaction videos, Patreon exclusive Q&As, different things where I specifically do videos only for the members there. So I highly recommend that you guys check out the Patreon. And the best part is that it supports the channel. It supports me doing these episodes. It's only $4.99 a month. I also have plans for people if you are a brand or you're somebody that just wants to lean in and sponsor a little bit harder. Shout out to Marlos, who is a Club 30s Platinum sponsor. Thank you so much, Marlos, for all of your support so far in the last few months. And I can't wait for all of you guys to check out the Patreon. All right, let's get back into the video. I was talking with a lot of my friends at the time, like, how am I going to be able to get to this? Are we going to go to London? I remember talking to like some other people that were not even fan friends about possibly going. But my plans and intentions were on going to see the This Is It concert, even though I never had tickets. I actually received my pre-sale access on June 25th, which is so bizarre and such a strange, like, it's so eerie. If I can find a screenshot, I'll include it here. But anyway, then Michael Jackson passes away and I'm sad again. I'm just like, wow, I feel so alone because like I said, I've taken that distance from the fan community. I come back and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a meetup group because I need to meet other people in real life, just like I used to back in the day on the forums. And a lot of people were leaving the forums. Like, they were like, you know, this is too painful. Michael has now passed away and I'm not able to deal. Like, a lot of fans like kind of disappeared. They were like, hey, Michael's not here anymore. Because it's hard, you guys, like being a fan of someone and then they just pass away unexpectedly. You're like, okay, like, what do I do now? And we lost a lot of people then, like, they just kind of moved on. And I started this big club in New York City. We had like over 100 members. We would do screenings of Michael Jackson DVDs and tours. I would do like, it was at a restaurant. So we would have food and they would have like this big projector where I could show these things, the DVDs. We had MJ themed Halloween parties where everybody had to do like a Michael Jackson themed costume. And I dressed up as Michael from She's Out of My Life. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it. I don't know where that photo is, but I did dress up like Michael. She's out of my life. And I had like a little Jerry curl wig. But yeah, we even had like Michael Jackson karaoke. Like I was into it. And then around that same time, I decided to start a blog. That blog was called MJ Fangirl. Now, the reason I started my blog was because I knew that my time as a Michael Jackson fan was going to be longer than my experience of being a fan while he was alive, if you know what I mean. So like I knew, especially like getting older and like having lived in the same era and time as Michael, I was gonna lose a lot of my memories. Like that's just life, right? Like you don't remember things as clearly, you don't remember things as crisply, and I wanted to write down a lot of what I had been through. And so I started the blog to document as much of my fandom as I could, and a lot of the experiences that I felt like I might forget with time. The blog was great. I came across a lot of people that loved it. I was on Twitter and Instagram promoting, and some people were just like, they were having these conversations with me, whether it was in DM or in just like comments to the blog or emails. And I decided that I wanted more. So I will get to tell you guys about my next steps with wanting more. But first of all, I wanted to let you guys know about today's sponsor, Ana Luisa Jewelry. Now, Ana Luisa is an amazing jewelry company. They have sustainable pieces, water resistant, hypoallergenic, and they have such a variety, you guys. Valentine's Day is about to be in a week. And even if it's not Valentine's Day, like if you're looking for a new set of jewelry, some spring collection item that will set your outfits off for this spring. I'm so excited to always tell you guys about Ana Luisa because they have great stuff. They have this bangle that I've been wearing for the last year on and off to different events. They have this mood ring, which I think is so cool. Like as an adult, don't you just want a mood ring? And it literally does change colors and everything. Like depending on your mood right now, I think this means that I'm in a happy mood, of course. I literally wore this like exact like trio to work the other day, and the girl at work, and she's like young in her 20s, like she was like, girl, where did you get that? Like, oh my gosh, I want a mood ring. Like that reminds me of the childhood nostalgia, except it's like elevated, especially also like this herringbone chain. It just, the stuff goes with every outfit and it lasts, you guys. They have free shipping within the US and it's fast shipping. So like I said, you can shop for holidays. You can get it really quickly. And also there's a 2-year worry-free guarantee on all your products. So if anything goes wrong, you can always write to them. Make sure that you are checking out Ana Luisa Jewelry. I actually have a promo code and a link down in the description box. So definitely visit that link if you're looking for any new pieces. They have earrings, bracelets, necklaces, anklets, you name it. So now we move on from the blog era to the YouTube era. And the YouTube era is why I'm here now. YouTube was something that I always watched because I always wanted to watch other people that spoke about Michael Jackson, that shared information about Michael Jackson. And spoiler alert, there were like none, okay? There were a couple people that would make content about Michael, but none of it was like personable. None of it to me was really like going into as much depth as I wanted to see. I will shout out to one of my sister girls and my friends, my sister Gadget Trish, who is one of the pioneers in this space. She's one of the first like channels that I remember making content specifically about the Jacksons and Michael Jackson. She used to do like unboxings. She has this Thriller doll unboxing that was like unreal, super popular. But I wanted to get on and talk about my story because I always felt like Michael Jackson and being a fan gave me a sense of community. And so that's why I wanted to get on here and do these types of episodes weekly. I used to show, I have like all my collection videos. I would go to Michael Jackson events and all that. Now that started in 2018 and now it's 2025 and a lot of things have happened. Like I said earlier, I met my husband in the Michael Jackson AOL chat room. He is also a huge fan. We were friends for so many years. And then like 6 years ago, we met up and the rest is history. We had an immediate spark and we ended up dating, getting married, and so funny. My husband actually hired a surprise Michael Jackson tribute artist to be at our wedding, which was like so cool. And the tribute artist, shout out to One Glove Entertainment. He's amazing. He's gone on to do like so many cool shows and have appearances and stuff like that. But yeah, so Michael Jackson has always been a part of my life in that way. And now I have a toddler and she loves Michael Jackson, and things have just been super busy. And during the transitional period between like having my child and going through different trends on YouTube, when I transitioned from doing a lot of vlogs where I was traveling a lot to doing a lot more talking head videos where I was showing my collection, especially during like the pandemic when we were all inside, and then going into another transition where I did a lot of reaction videos, I kind of somewhat lost my way. And I'm not saying that to say that all of that content wasn't from my heart and like what I wanted to do, because at the time those were things I wanted to do, right? Like I wanted to show videos of Michael or the Jacksons that were rare Michael Jackson videos or Michael Jackson performances that people had not seen in a really long time. And I wanted to remind people of those and react to them. But at the same time, like I feel like I did lose my spark and my passion for like educating people about Michael Jackson and being like a researcher, and like I just want to go into 2025, and that's why I'm speaking this out loud to you guys. I am labeling this my historian era. I have been a historian of Michael Jackson for the last 30 years. I am 37 years old now. This year I'm going to be 38. I am someone that has researched Michael Jackson for years. I have dozens of books. I mean, almost 100 magazines. I have watched hours and hours of footage. I have spoken with fans. I've spoken with Michael Jackson collaborators. I've gotten firsthand accounts of people that have worked with him, that have been on these projects. I have been passionate about this for so long. And this year, I really want to lean into talking to people about who the real Michael Jackson was, whether that's focusing on him as an entertainer, talking about his music, talking about his achievements and accomplishments. I just think it's so important because I've always felt indebted to Michael Jackson in a way. His music was there for me when I felt alone and I had my teenage angst years, and I had a lot of times in adulthood when I was like, okay, who am I? What do I want out of life? Michael Jackson's music spoke to my soul. And I know that I'm not the only one out there that has been affected by Michael Jackson in this way. And I want to share little known facts about him, help to educate the general public about Michael Jackson, his achievements, have these conversations about Michael for music fans that frankly have just been lost in the sauce, particularly in the last few years when Michael's name has been like shrouded with controversy and people want to do like these clickbaity things where they talk about Michael and like other things that are not related to his music and his career. And I want to be that person for you guys. I want to have this historian era where I go back to my roots, talking to you guys about Michael Jackson, educating you guys about Michael Jackson, and learning about Michael Jackson myself, because this is going to be a learning exercise for me as well. And I'm super excited about leaning into that, especially now with the AI thing. Like, you guys, it's kind of scary, but like there have been photos of Michael where I'm like, wait, I truly don't know. And I'm like, I cannot allow 2025 to go by without me like contributing somehow to this conversation about Michael and his legacy. So I hope you guys will join me. Definitely make sure that you're subscribing to the YouTube channel over here on MJ Fangirl TV is what it's called. If you want any of the episodes as audio, you can always visit mjfangirl.com. MJFangirl.com to find the podcast, or you could look it up, MJ Fangirl Club 30s. Thank you again to our sponsor of today's video, Ana Luisa. If you want any of these beautiful jewelry pieces, definitely go and check Ana Luisa out. My favorite, you guys, is this mood ring. Like, I cannot get over it. It's so super cute. Like, look at that. Definitely check them out. The link in the description box is down below so you can get a little bit of money off. And until next time,